new cross. Ask them lot about me, this is where I got my flow locked. Drove a stolen car to school, if I got chased I didn't stop. Fast and furious, I spin off like I'm Hobbs or the Rock. People stay what? Really repped for my block. I was fighting before I knew about Goku or Brock. Left and right, man dropped. Never scared, never soft. It was Peck and B ghetto, so you had to be on job. You were shook if you just watched them from the ends. I've seen a lot, I've seen it jam, I've seen it pop, I've seen a life and seen it lost. It's sad to say, but this environment has made me change a lot. I used to be so flipping quiet, nowadays I'm flipping off like I will pull up on you quick. Bang from the whip, junkyard shit, get it crushed quick. Feds might be pissed, they ain't finding shit. Link up with the crew, head back to the bits where I pull up on you quick. Bang from the whip, junkyard shit, get it crushed quick. Feds might be pissed, they ain't finding shit. Link up with the crew, head back to the bits.
Okay, you fucking with the wizard. We like RZA Jizza. Cutter, not a scissor. Still I'm not a fizzer. Roll the cigar. We don't use cigar. Regret. You're silly disrespect. You get a check delivered. Don't run to the cops. All my niggas say I look like Hobbs or the Rock, but with hair. Prepare. I'm going in this year. My brother need 100 grand. I said I got one spare, but I'ma need a 5% interest. We all got rent. I only rest when I invest. I made the whole lot off a bless. I swear these rappers making pills the way they force it with the press. I used to slang, I used to step. Don't think I wanna take your neck, cause I will
pull up on you quick. Bang from the whip, junkyard shit, get it crushed quick. Feds might be pissed, they ain't finding shit. Link up with the crew, head back to the bits where I
Yo, what's up? What's up? Hey everybody, we're gonna be working on some Prism today. In particular, we're gonna be diving into streaming output. I've already got some stuff started, but we're just gonna kind of like find our way. I don't know how far we're gonna get today, but we'll see. Pretty excited. Hopefully the music's not too loud. I don't know. I'm still playing around with Streamlabs. I'm going to give this a shot for the next few streams and kind of see how it shakes out. Normally I've been using OBS and Restream, but Streamlabs has a little bit more features to it. So we'll play with it. So if the music's like distracting or like not working or like too loud or anything, just yell at me in chat. All right, let's see. Let's go set up a test, right? So we've got, let's make sure I got my secrets loaded for OpenAI. We've got these all squared away. This is all gonna break. What we got? We got provider response. Let's say we're gonna have we're gonna return a generator. And we'll return a I think we're gonna have to come up with a new set of abstractions for this. I think we're gonna have to set up like a whole new set of abstractions for streaming, which is why I've like decided to just break break everything out into like separate classes, even though they are like still text classes. So if we take a look, so what we've done so far is we created like an OpenAI stream test. We've duplicated we've like added to the contract stream type response with a generator. We've updated Prism with like a pending stream request, and then we've like created the stream generator, pending request, request response builder, and step. Like, but for what I've done, with those for now is I've just extended all the text stuff since that's all the same, but I think we're gonna have to come up with some different like chunk types for streaming, because you're gonna get like a message over the course of like several chunks or many chunks is it's streaming. So I think we might have to come up with like an abstraction for like a chunk object, like a chunk piece, and then kind of like start and stop of messages. Like we'll kind of see as it starts working out. So before Prism I had Sparkle, and Sparkle actually supported text streaming. So I've kind of been through this once, but we're in Prism now, and it's just got like a whole new set of abstractions and everything. So we'll see. It's freezing down here. My space heater broke. My office is in the basement. It's really cold down here. It's like 7 outside or something. We're in like the middle of a cold snap. They actually just canceled my son's school for the next like 2 days because of how cold it's supposed to be. So these are super convenient. I've got these left over from my cycling days. They're just like sleeves. It's so handy for when you're just like just that level of chilly. All right, so let's take a look. We've got our stream here. Our test is going to be broken. So we've got like our stream generator, which is kind of like the coordinator class for everything. Text, structured, embeddings, like they all have generators. And that's kind of like the coordinator for all of the abstractions and kind of like manages holding state, stuff like that. So we call this class generator. So we've got like PHP generator, alias to our generator class. Let's just yield and let's just comment this out for now. I just kind of want to get this like test case working. Sorry, I had to check some messages. All right, so we need to implement. I'm just gonna opt for moving at this point. Like, I think there's maybe some like duplication that I think it's probably like duplication that we're gonna end up having. Yo, hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. This is gonna get interesting. So this has got to return a generator. Provider response probably isn't gonna work, but let's just see what we get. You know, let's go take a look at. Here we go. We're just looking through some Sparkle stuff. Hey, very welcome for the package. I'm happy to build it. It's like so much of it is just scratching my own itch, but I love seeing what the community's come up with and what they've been requesting and what people have been building with it. So, no, it's just big labor of passion at this point. All right, so we've got a chunk of this that I can probably grab. The real trick with streaming output is going to be how we handle iterating with tools and like taking the tool, like, so we get all of the response from the provider as like streamed chunks of a conversation. And so what we need to do is like gather these, we need to like emit these chunks out for like whoever's subscribing to them, right? So like you've created something, you need to subscribe to the generator in order to get all the chunks of text that are coming back. But we also need to gather and hold on to all of the chunks because I need to get tool calls so that I can invoke the tools, take the response from like the tool results and then feed them back into the system. So there's like, it's a little wonky. Where like we both have to emit the stream stuff, but then at the same time, I have to gather and hold on to it for our own internal purposes too. All right, so this is like kind of what we need to look at, where we're gonna get the raw response back. We need to like gather up tool calls. We need to look for like finish reason. This is gonna be a little tricky. Just listening to see what's going on with my family at the top of the stairs. All right, let's see what we got. Let's just nuke this for now. Stream true. Oh, my dogs are going nuts. They're having a blast.
will pull up on you quick. Bang from the whip, junkyard shit. Get it crushed quick. Feds might be pissed, they ain't finding shit. Link up with the crew, head back to the bits where I pull up on you quick. Bang from the whip, junkyard shit. Get it crushed quick. Feds might be pissed, they ain't finding shit. Link up with the crew, head back to the bits. Let me take it from the top. Back in New Cross, ask them lot about me, this is where I got my flow locked. Drove a stolen car to school, if I got chased I didn't stop. Fast and furious, I spin off like I'm Hobbs or the Rock. People stay what? Really repped for my block. I was fighting before I knew about Goku or Brock. Left and right, man dropped. Never scared, never soft. It was Peck and B ghetto, so you had to be on job. You were shook if you just watched them from the ends. I've seen a lot, I've seen it jam, I've seen it pop, I've seen a life and seen it lost. It's sad to say, but this environment has made me change a lot. I used to be so flipping quiet, nowadays I'm flipping off like I will pull up on you quick. Bang from the whip, junkyard shit. Get it crushed quick. Feds might be pissed, they ain't finding shit. Link up with the crew, head back to the bits where I pull up on you quick. Bang from the whip, junkyard shit. Get it crushed quick. Feds might be pissed, they ain't finding shit. Link up with the crew, head back to the bits.
Okay, you fucking with the wizard. We like RZA jizzer. Cutter, not a scissor. Still one, not a fizzer. Roll the cigar. We don't use cigar. Regret. You're silly disrespect. You get a check delivered. Don't run to the cops. All my niggas say I look like Hobbs or the Rock, but with hair. Prepare. I'm going in this year. My brother need 100 grand. I said I got one spare, but I'ma need a 5% interest. We all got rent. I only rest when I invest. I made the whole lot off a bless. I swear these rappers making pills the way they force it with the press. I used to slang, I used to step. Don't think I wanna take your neck, cause I will
pull up on you quick. Bang from the whip, junkyard shit. Get it crushed quick. Feds might be pissed, they ain't finding shit. Link up with the crew, head back to the bits where I pull up on you quick. Bang from the whip, junkyard shit. Get it crushed quick. Feds might be pissed, they ain't finding shit. Link up with the crew, head back to the bits.
Tip of the beat, could never be no G checking with me, cause the levels elite. I got takers agreed. Rhetorical when I ask it, I know I'm ahead of the league. What you telling me, P?
Most of these brothers are jealous, got my money strong, you can see what I get in a week. Most of these rappers ain't rapping to me. Don't be considering stepping to us when you could have handled it separately.
Our competitors beat from the rest of the scene, they be taking a D. You better step with some takers from taking when stepping to me, or some reckless weapon when stepping to me. I prevent it like Beckham to get in the team.
These reckless brothers will get it for free, it's telepathy on the track.
Crap back to back and we fuck up the track, or we put on the track, having track up the pack. They a couple of cappers, they clocking for cats, and a couple of the nitties to back up their raps.
Jacking the pack and then cabinet back of the gat in the back of the flax. I'm racking up stacks, I'm backing with stacks, cause I was a thief and now I got packs.
Finish up and twitching this bitch and just tweet out a link of the bitch that I'm with, trying to wrestle the dick till I sit on the tip. If you stop to the channel, she swivel a bit and we live and direct and we winning and rich from the coins to notes to crib and the sticks. I'll be this to a million bits money over everyone that isn't a sick mad.
As you can hear, I'm deep in the bag, I'm a G and a dad. You can feel my energy deep in the rap. Authority when man speaking the track. I'm live on the stage, just me and a mic to my face, shut down, I believe through the back. Unfairly speaking the raps, it's me and Ocean, no even in that.
No even in that, and I'm a don and I'm a G. I put a track around the quarter, brother, running to the weedy, say the couple on a nigga trying to run into the lead, I'm trying to buy it, don't I couldn't never run from a Neekin in the marathon. You got a proper hustle for the P and fuck a tackle on you, really got a struggle for the team. Or you a better man, a cannibal, a murderer, animal, I never seen that type of energy surrounding me.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
You don't believe in no fate, every day digging the grave, step in the pit with the snakes, city of dreams, city of gang. You don't believe in no fate, I might just dig up your grave, step in the pit with a king, city of dreams, city of gang, 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 gang. City of dreams, live in your grave, you live in your grave. City of dreams, city of gang, 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 gang. City of dreams, live in your grave, you live in your grave. City of dreams, city of Scully in the gullies, yeah. Bully in the burrows, finna take your money, yeah. That ice shoot cause we throw, way too demo. Pack that heat, we too ghetto. Run the streets, read that memo, live that creed. All I need is greed and green. Read it and weep, counting them sheep. Using the silence, put you to sleep. Bag of the beef, tagging the roof. Pop them a deuce, rocking the loop. Back on the roof, back in the back in the back in the booth. Knock out your tooth, do it for truce, do it for trees, do it for me, do it for gang. You don't believe in no fate, every day digging the grave, step in the insidious, bitch, you hideous. Fuck this city, you're good. One scrape from the grittiest, still delirious. Fuck this city, my hood, my slum, my turf, my block, my woods, my wrist, my back, my gas. They strapped, all black, all trapped. Tatting myself for the rest, never forgetting the past. Living the blast, popping them off as I go. See you in hell, chopper and blow. Blah. I don't do it for the money, I just do it for your ears. One by one, they keep it running. Slip up a trip and you're dead. Gang, you don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Step in the pit with the snakes. City of dreams, city of gang. You don't believe in no fate. I might just dig up your grave. Step in the pit with a king. City of dreams, city of gang, 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 gang. City of dreams, live in your grave. You live in your grave. City of dreams, city of gang, 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 gang. City of dreams, live in your grave. You live in your grave. City of dreams, city of gang.
I got angels running away. I got demons hunting me. I know Pop with 25. I know Jesus 33. I tell death to keep a distance. I think he obsessed with me. I say, God, that's the one. I know she would die for me. They want a barcode on my wrist to auction off the kids that don't fit the description of a utopia. Like a problem won't exist if I just don't exist. If I grew up without a single pot to piss in, pardon me for venting. Congress got the nerve to call itself religious. Rich just getting richer. We just trying to live our life. Mama mixed the vodka with the Sprite. They killed my cousin with a pocket knife. While my uncle on the phone, he was gone for more than half my life. He got out a year and then he died. I was on the road, talking to my father on the phone. Left the city when I was just 4. None of them would get along. Mama begging him for when it coast. I was chilling with my niggas poop. Now they trying to take us. Life don't mean shit to a nigga that ain't never had shit. Yeah, light don't mean lit. In the dark fight don't mean fish. Oh, ice don't.
My mic was off. I went on a short break a little bit ago to talk to my wife, and I forgot to turn my mic back on. Yeah, so sorry. We could handle this in a couple different ways. So your question was, using the Prism package, can the chatbot using the Prism package respond only if the data is related to our database or PDF? If not, should we reply with an apology or a default message? How can this be implemented? The approach that I would probably take is like take the incoming request. Here we can go here. So we could take the incoming request and kind of like hand that off to like the request goes through sort of like a middleware, right? So we have the request that comes in, we take that, we send it first to an agent, and that agent's only job is to tell us if that content is related or not related. So always hits that, and that's kind of your like moderator, your gate. So like we get to that point. If and like you could even use structured response for this, so you can get like a easy Boolean back, you know, true or false. This content's related to a PDF or related to data in the database. And then what you can do is like, if true, like if it is related, then take the request and pass it off, like the initial request, pass that off to your like final answering agent, and then let that respond to the request. So you'd basically have like 2 agents. So you'd be making 1 to 2 requests each cycle, depending, like each request cycle, depending on what you wanted to do. Does that make sense? All right, so if we go back and look at, we need to do something like this. Yeah, sweet. You could also get kind of fancy and like build an agent that uses tool choice, and then have like a tool that determines whether the content's related or not, and like force it to always have to use that tool. You might be able to like create a system prompt in a way that it will like choose to use that tool before it responds. So you could try to accomplish this in one agent across like 2 requests. But I think to get something that's going to be like really battle hardened, I would use like 2 Prism agents, and always have like the first one tell you if the stuff's related or not, and then you can decide what you want to do with that after. You're very welcome. I'm so happy to help. All right, so we have our buffer. We're going to read from our buffer. We're going to look for new line breaks. Let's see what we got. We got new chunks in here. Yep. We're getting our chunks in now. Hey Mark, thanks. I'm so happy to be back doing some live streams again. They're a riot. So what I'm using here is Buggerator to capture my output from Ray. And so we're getting chunks in, like some empty chunks. So we want to make sure that our chunks aren't empty. So we've got our raw response lines. You'll see those coming in, also being echoed back out as chunks from our test, I believe. Let's get rid of this. We can just work with this one for now. Let's see what I was doing in Sparkle. Was I trimming? I'm just using old Sparkle code to like try and get back up to try to get like up to speed here quick with where I left off. because I'm slowly remembering this. Oh, hey Leah, totally missed it. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. All right, let's that response end. Let's see what went wrong here. So we need to iterate through this to like actually get all of that to trigger, because we actually have to like hit the yield. So we can just like leave that commented out for now. Clear out our debugging, rerun our tests. We can get rid of that. And so now we should get some JSON decoded data. Yes, now we're getting all our chunks as raw data. Like raw, like as we're getting all our chunks now in JSON as like associative arrays. So this is like a good spot to get to. So we have these like types of chat completion chunks. What other chunk types do we get? Do we have anything other than chat completion chunks? No, we don't, and that's fine. Why are we getting this error? Okay, so we're getting a JSON. Did I have JSON validate in here? I did. So through new Prism exception. That was... So this would never be valid though, because we'd have to JSON decode it first, because it's going to be prefixed with data. So how did that work here? I don't know why. Oh, I see. If it like if they're returning, I see. I see. I see. I see. I think this is like Anthropic specific, so let's just drop that. Um, oh my god, I can't type. So it did decode it though? What are we getting this syntax error from? I'm so confused. All right, let's do this then. Because we're getting done, which is not JSON. I think I can actually go back now and look at OpenAI. That's right. I was using the OpenAI SDK in Sparkle, so I don't know if I had to actually deal with this. I think what I need to do is we override the line and we We're still gonna get the syntax error. I'm pretty sure it's because let's take a look at this again. So it's just like getting empty data back, but not continuing on. It's not decoding this. This is valid JSON. Oh. Okay, that was my fault. Should have been, I think, an easy one to catch, but we're flying around. Probably like 10 more minutes. I'm gonna call it for the stream. Try to get to a good stopping point. Hey, we got to the end. Parsed all the line data. What is going on here? Just had to catch up, I guess. Sick. Cool. So, you know what? I want to scroll through all the events. Just get everything fed back in here. Cool. So everything, we're getting back our chunked or parsed chunks. let's take a look at the stream test. Jeez, Pixel. See what this looks like with tools. Let's comment that out for now. Finish reason tool calls. All right. Chat completion chunks. Which is cool because it should finish with that. All right, so we've got a mess on our hands now. We've got like, I'm just gonna call it here because diving into anything more I think is going to create a lot of extra work. Or just like we've got a lot more stuff to do next. So let's just update the client here. Ooh. You know what? I don't like that. Let's just do that here. It's chainable, so we can just drop it and do. That feels a little better. So we're gonna have to clean all this stuff up eventually, but we've got stream chunks coming through. Everything's being returned as like generators. So we're just like yielding raw responses around for now. And we're gonna have to like get all these abstractions up and running. I'm probably gonna spend some time with Claude like the next day or so, helping me like with some architecture, figuring out how it's gonna end up looking. Yeah, so like you'll end up making your requests with the stream, and then you'll like iterate all over all the chunks, and then do like what you want with them. If we look at the let's see if I've got yeah, this will be kind of how it looks. But if you wanted to like create a controller that returns like the streamed chunks, so like you're implementing some sort of like chat UI, this is kind of how it's going to look. You're going to return a streamed response, and inside that closure, you're going to like iterate over the call to generate, and you're going to get your chunks, and then you'll be able to like get pieces of data off of that chunk, like the role content, stuff like that. So definitely have a lot of work to go, but have like basic architecture in place. So yeah, with that, I think we'll call it a day. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me and coming along for the wild ride as I copy and paste a bunch of code all over the place. Please, if you're enjoying this, go like, subscribe, Twitch, the TJ Miller, YouTube, not TJ Miller. And then, yeah, I'm also over on Twitter as Hey TJ Miller. On Blue Sky is TJ Miller. I'm all over the place. If you want to find everything in one stop, go to tjmiller.me/links. That's where you can find everything. So thank you again for joining me on the stream. We'll talk again soon. Thanks, Leah, for hanging out.